What's good, everybody? Happy New Comic Book Day. Will Void Rivals transform the way we know New Comic Book Day as it is? Maybe. Let's talk about it. It's New Comic Book Day. Hang tight. Once again, welcome back, everybody. I'm Comic Man Andy. We're in the Comic Cave Comic Dojo, and it's New Comic Book Day. And if you love collecting and reading comic books as much as I do, you are in the right place, and this is the right time for everybody hopping on over from Chris the Comic Vet's New Comic Book Day show. Yeah, we had 2 weeks worth of books. We're gonna do what we normally do here every Wednesday. Is we're gonna welcome the chat. We're gonna go over the books. We're gonna hang out and talk about a couple of picks, and then we're gonna do it all over again. If we do it a little bit quickly, you know what I mean? Like we'll hang out, we'll have some fun. It's New Comic Book Day. It's like the eve of Heroes Con. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. It's going to be a good time. We had GT Key Comic hanging tough, hanging tight, tailgating like he always does. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Mr. Green Machine, howdy, howdy, everyone. Good to see you as well. Izzyverse says ready to go. I wish he was ready to go to Heroes Con, but no, we'll miss you this weekend, man. And Captain Comics, the man, the myth, the legend, saying ahoy, mates and mermaids. Good to see you, man. Dale's saying Void Rivals, baby. Yeah, like certainly something to talk about there. Trev, the shipping guru, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Rob, you as well. Good to see you. I hope everybody's having a healthy, happy, and safe week this week. And kind of a chill New Comic Book Day, right? A little bit. And yeah, will Void Rivals transform the way we know New Comic Book Day as it is? No, it won't. It's going on my pull list. I'm going to read it. I'm going to enjoy it. And I think this was a fun read, but this is a very interesting way to basically kick off a new universe. And this is going to be like a spoiler, no spoiler. So without talking about it too much, anybody that has not read the issue does not want anything spoiled, please avert your eyes for the rest of tonight's episode. Come back and watch it on the replay after you've had a chance to read. Void Rivals was an extremely fast read. I think it took me all of about 3, maybe 4 minutes to read it. And at first glance, if you're not paying attention to what the community's been talking about, if you're not paying attention to kind of what's going on with Image, and once again, spoilers, please turn away if you do not want anything to be spoiled for you. Some time ago in a land far, far away in the past, IDW lost the rights to Transformers and to G.I. Joe. And we've been talking in the community collectively, we as a community amongst other channels and other shows have been talking about where will those rights end up in the future. Well, look no further. We're Kirkman's kicking off his dream with Void Rivals. And I will say this is kind of a very odd way to do this, where obviously there's people have been talking about it, but there's not a lot of press, not a lot of coverage. And all of a sudden you got Kirkman recording 80 gazillion freaking openings for so many different people. It's hilarious. I don't know what happened there, but it's like I saw one for Wanted Comics. I saw one for a bunch of different Comic Tom. I saw one over there. There's a gazillion bunch of recordings, of Robert Kirkman just kind of opening up, and I couldn't even watch them all because I didn't even finish reading them all. I'm like, I get it, Andy. Go buy Void Rivals this week, add it to your pull list and read it. Now, I am a sci-fi space kind of fantasy freak geek. I love space titles and sci-fi and fantasy, and then when you combine them all together, this does interest me. But what was kind of throwing me off is we all eat with our eyes, right? We all, we don't really mean to a lot of times. We all judge a book by its cover, right? So if you're not in the know and you don't know what's going on, like me, I didn't pay attention and I didn't want things to be spoiled. So I hadn't been watching a lot of the shows that are out there on the YouTube channels, and I had not stayed abreast of this situation, if you will. So looking at this, the covers, this is the situation's blander than an assisted living care's menu for the day-to-day food activities. It's not bad writing. It's just a very interesting way to open up what could potentially be one of the greatest universes seen in modern indie comic book history. So I don't know if this is going to last maybe 3 issues or 6 issues. I don't know if this is going to be long. You guys in the community can leave a comment down below and let me know if it's going to be a long ongoing. But obviously, again, if you're still here, we've already said, if you're still here and you don't want things to be spoiled, then nay, it's on you. We've said spoilers will be abound. Please avert your eyes and come back and watch this on the recap. The last page of this issue, 3, 2. All right, there's your chance. There's your chance. The last page of this issue does put out information to state that there will be a GI Joe based comic called, I think it was Duke or Dukes, maybe if I remember correctly. Issue 1, I think December, and then Cobra #1 in January. I'm just doing it based off of memory from one. I've only read this once today. That's the exciting piece. That's the exciting piece. So please know when we talk about, don't go pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for exclusives. Like there's a 1 in 100 out there for this. If you've got to have it, wait 3 or 4 months. Put on the patient pants and wait for it. I don't know what asking prices are. I'm not paying attention to asking prices on that. There are not that many exclusives as far as what we've experienced in the past. So I think they did pretty well with that. But that's the funny thing is out of the variants that they did, the few that they did, there's no like banger crazy covers except for like the 1 in 100 kind of deal. So that's kind of interesting. They obviously, Kirkman's trying to fly under the radar with this beforehand, during, and right now. I will say this: I think the greater comic community as a whole is going to be reading this and going to be talking about it, and I think we're all going to be pretty excited about this. If you're not a GI Joe or a Transformers fan, here is your opportunity to jump on at the very beginning and read it and decide if you're going to be a fan or if you don't want to be a fan. I think this is an event to not miss out on, even if you're not the biggest GI Joe or Transformers fan. This is an event to not miss. This is a man that's going to be living his dream, Robert Kirkman, with two titles, two universes merging into one. And I think this is going to be a really fun ride. I'll just say it's just really kind of weird for a blasé kind of under the radar kind of delivery of a universe opening, if you will, because there is a lot of burnout in the market. If you think there's a lot of superhero burnout, and there is some, it's up for discussion, whatever. We've talked about superhero burnout. I do believe there is modern comic burnout as well. There is, especially there is issue 1 burnout going on. I would have walked right by this if it wasn't for some of the great community members out there like Collecting with Durs and other people on channels that had been talking about this. Now, granted, I didn't go watch any of this stuff until just the last couple of days. Like, I don't like, if I watch stuff that early when people are talking about it, I generally forget about it. So I try to stay abreast of things and watch them more in the moment. I would appreciate everybody in the community that was kind of bringing more information to the table, because I would have walked right by this on the shelf and probably would have went back and picked it up later. Print numbers are going to be high. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a good, fun, quality read out there for everybody. And $3.99. You're definitely gonna get your bang for the buck at $3.99 if you pick up cover A and stick with it and add that to your pull list. I think this is gonna be a issue, not just an issue. This is gonna be a series to not miss for anybody that enjoys reading modern comic books. I think that you don't necessarily have to be a GI Joe fan or a Transformer fan or a fan of both to want to read this. Because I am neither I'm not a diehard GI Joe fan. I'm not a diehard Transformer. I enjoy watching other people talking about the content. I enjoy the occasional read, the occasional variant cover, something like that. I think this is gonna deliver getting the delivery and getting to those issues and getting in those first arcs. I think the journey is gonna be fun. And I was naysaying the hell out of this last night, and I'm like, just seems really irritating. That's a very sly, underhanded, like backdoor salesman kind of car salesman-y way to do this, sort of. But that's intended. They're intending to do that, right? Either way, like I said, I'm a big sci-fi, fantasy, space fan, and I think this is going to be an issue that this is going to be a series that when we get to the delivery will be an interesting journey. So that answers the question right there. Will Void Rivals transform New Comic Book Day? No, I personally don't think it'll be super, super, super crazy. I think it's going to be a very fun, enjoyable read. I don't think it's going to be anything beyond that. I think really the journey of getting to those new issues and new series for GI Joe and Transformers, that's where the excitement's really going to land. This is going to be kind of like that slow burn. We'll see. I could be entirely wrong, and if I am wrong, that is okay, and you guys can punish me and beat me up later for it. I'm the punching bag. That's for that can be. I can be your punching bag. Either way, let's get back into that chat. That was just the quick little 10-minute kind of segue. No, not a segue, but little how I felt about the book. I naysayed the hell out of it the last couple of nights, like feeling really irritated about. Granted, I'm a little slighted after the 2 years of massive amounts of variance and stories that end up not going anywhere. So when it comes to new modern indie reads, I'm a little gun shy right now. I'm much like a lot of other people, I'm sure are. And if you're not, more power to you. Either way, there's no wrong way to collect or read a comic book. Your way is your way, and that is okay. Back again to the chat, and we'll get up into these books. Legion of Comic, what's up? We are Legion. Hashtag good. I cannot wait to see everybody at Heroes Con this weekend, man. Beckerman, good to see you as well. Void Rivals is enemy mind retold in modern story. Oh my god, you're right. In a good way. I'm pumped for what images. Damn, you're right. I didn't even make that connection. Well done, man. Daniel Warren Johnson for the win. Amen, Mark. Glenn Smith is here. What is up, man? Good to see you. I can't wait to go over this week's books with everybody as we get caught up on the chat. We actually have 2 weeks worth of books because we did not pick up last week's books. We didn't get the email, and I just kind of assumed that I didn't have books. I should never assume there's never books in my pull list. There is almost 99% of the time always books in my pull list to pick up. I eat with my mouth, Andy, but I'm not judging you by your eyes. Oh, God. This is a fail. The information isn't getting out to normal people. So, Fight and Code Names, welcome to the channel. Please consider subscribing. Well, actually, you have subscribed if you're commenting here. No wait, just hit subscribe and comment. This is kind of my point that I was really kind of making. The information isn't getting out to normal people. The average Joe Schmo Schmuckatelli walking through the LCS will probably walk right by it if they're not drawn in by the covers, if the covers aren't about something they're interested in. And we're talking about the merging of two of the greatest titles or greatest licenses out there into a universe that isn't necessarily fantasy and space, but that's where they're starting it at. And it's kind of, you guys can kind of understand a little bit of my frustration, but that's, just, it's issue 1. It's just starting out. We'll see what happens. Eating spicy food with my eyes really hurts. Jesus Christ. Brother, good to see you. Duke and Cobra Commander, thank you. Yes. You missed the big announcement. Daniel Warren Johnson is bringing us Transformers. Hail to the yes, absolutely. And there will be a Transformers relaunch. There you go. There you go. I did read the issue extremely fast before dinner. $250 to $500. Are you referring to the 1 in 100? I don't see a lot of staying power in modern exclusive comics at all, and have not in the last year or two. There are fewer and farther between than what I've experienced. So I don't know that there will be any staying power to 1 in 100. It is a sick cover. It could. At this point, I'm not even going to try to figure modern comics out as far as staying power after the fact. I just know what I've seen and what's been happening, and I've been able to buy stuff massively cheaper 3 to 4 months later. We'll see what happens there, Izzy, man. We got to keep our eye on that book. We'll see what happens. Izzy, my dude, yes, spoiler alert, Mark, not you, Dale. I like you. Can't wait for Transformers. I added all 3 to my pull list. This is my shot. I'm taking it. Interesting. Okay. Legion says, yes, I dig it. Jolly, good to see you as well. Meh, yeah, it's not for everybody. We'll see what happens. Andy already called for spoiler talk, Becker. It's fair game. Makes the Marvel crossover more on demand. This is also another great concern. I was going to move on to new comic, but this is also a great concern. How many of us are burnt out on the crossover after crossover after crossover after crossover after crossover with Marvel? And even DC, that DC has been doing it, but Marvel's the biggest offender with the crossover over crossover, with the merging and the crossover. You got to buy this to read that and buy that and da-da-da-da-da-da. If Image follows suit with, I'm going to be really upset if Image follows suit with what Marvel's done with crossover events. And if you got to start buying 4 different Image titles, much like they do with Marvel, you got to buy 4 different Image titles to stay current on read. I'm going to be really upset with that because I'm tired. I'm burnt out of that. Marvel has burnt me out. And the biggest last offender was Marvel Star Wars, burning me out with the crossover events. They've done better recently, Marvel Star Wars, and not like making it so taxing and such a job to try to stay up with things. But if Image does that, Robert Kirkman, please don't follow suit. Please, for the love of God, Robert Kirkman, do not follow suit with what Marvel's done with crossover events. I know he's smarter than that. I know he is. We all know he's smarter than that. Okay. Moving on. Izzy, I love you, man. Beckerman and preface that there will be spoilers. Yes. If you have not seen Across the Spider-Verse, go see it. Rob, I have not. I will say our family's been extremely busy, and there's been some things going on that's got us really busy at the moment. We will go see it as soon as possible. I'm still disappointed in you, Mark. Blank cover, he says. If you haven't bought Flash tickets for this weekend, buy them. I'll be at the con, brother. I don't know. Let me know. Fill me in on what you're talking about when we get to the con. Is this the one to get? I'm gonna read it. I'm buying it because I'm reading it. And I'm gonna get my values worth out of that $3.99. I'm happy with you feeling that way, Becker. I live for it. I have good plans for the blank cover of Void Rivals. To be honest, I didn't even realize there was a blank cover for Void Rivals. I thought it was just a blank. They had a blank cover that was in place because they weren't spoiling the 1 in 100. I could be wrong. Care Bears versus Cobras. Christ almighty. It ain't about how fast I get there. It ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. There you go. Most comics in the LCS this week was Oh, really? They bought a shitload. The print run, my understanding, is going to be extremely high. Will the book sell? I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see what happens with that. Really excited for Joshua Williamson to write Duke and Cobra Commander. Andy, you going to Heroes Con? Yes, we are going to Heroes Con. We will fly out to Heroes Con Friday morning, early Friday morning, out of the crazy state of Michigan, and hope to be there without challenges, without issues, and see everybody and hang out with them. It is crazy. Swaggle House, brother, good to see you. Thanks for being here, man. Everybody make sure, we're all YouTube content creators. Just Swaggle House pops in once in a while. Make sure you're following him because I know you're following all the other content creators that are in the chat. Don't forget to follow Swaggle House on YouTube. And if Mama or Zuni or anybody, any of the moderators here can start dropping channel links for anybody hanging out. The idea is that as we go live, everybody can share the links with moderators so that we're helping to grow the community and share our conversations and our opinions on a lot of these books that are out right now. Because realistically, what am I missing in not reading that you guys that you guys are reading? That's usually what we talk about. Like somebody's going to be coming in here and slapping me around the table for not buying DC at some point. That was a general statement earlier. Brad, good to see you as well. There it is. So yes, we got 2 weeks worth of books. We're going to go through them quickly. We're already 17 minutes in. Nice little 15-minute discussion about Void Rivals. At the end of the day, Void Rivals is hitting my pull list. I'm going to read it, but like everybody else, we're really excited for what that December, January, or that that December, January time frame. Those other titles. Really quickly, some of these are mixed up from last week. No worries though. Yoda number 8. We got that hitting the reading pile. A lot's hitting the reading pile. Like I said, the family's been really busy. Empire 1 hitting the reading pile. Santa Staros, I've been having fun reading this. I'm looking forward to issue 5. It's just a fun read. What are comic books for? Fun reading. And I think I'm still getting my money's worth with Star Wars because Star Wars, all books have been cover price. Like literally almost everything's been cover price. You throw Afra on a cover with Vader, I'm buying it. Then you throw Afra in a bar with Vader playing Sabak? Hell yeah. That's pretty dope. I want to see more about this. I really want to get into this issue and find out what's going on. Like I said, I tend to, like a lot of other people, look at the cover of a comic book and determine my level of interest. I'm judging a book by its cover. Shouldn't always do that, but hey. Darth Vader 35 cover price variant. I love Vader covers like this, and this is what we're talking about when we ask for good Vader covers from Marvel. Like really, like when I'm comparing modern Star Wars comic books, I'm comparing them to the 2015, 2017 runs of Vader and Dr. Afra. Those have phenomenal covers. The modern Star Wars run that's been going on, they've got the bar has been set really high, and they're still trying to hit the top of that bar as far as I'm concerned. And this is it. I'm done buying anniversary covers. After I complete this run, there's going to be another anniversary, and next year it's going to be 41 covers or copies. I don't have that much space, and I can't have like 80% of my collection just be Star Wars stuff. How diverse of a person am I really going to be if I'm only reading Star Wars books? I get it. I like Star Wars, but I do want to be a diverse reader as well. Issue 35, Darth Vader, the Pride Month variant there. Then we've got Star Wars 35, if I remember correctly, it was last week. Love the cover A. Then we've got the cover B variant edition. Cover price Like I said, almost everything's been cover price. And the Boss Nass, gotta have the Boss Nass. The action figures, I'd never collected action figures up until the last couple of years, and now it's just kind of one of those things. If I have 80% of them, I get the other 20%. I'm a sucker for the action figure covers now because we have been buying and collecting some Star Wars action figures, and then there's the 40th anniversary for the week before. And then we, lo and behold, yes, we did actually have a ratio variant for Star Wars 35, the Noto 1 in 25. And it was still sitting in the box from last week, thankfully, at $24, because I think on eBay it's like 50-ish. Probably won't hold. Modern books don't tend to hold value over the course of the 6-8 month window. We'll see what happens with that. Believe this is a first cover appearance of a new character. If I remember correctly, that's what I heard people talking about. I haven't dug into that yet. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World issue 6 is out. This is where my cutoff point was going to be. I was going to cut off after this because I have my interest has waned a little bit. The first couple issues were fun, kind of cheeky, but it's more of a love story and less of an apocalypse story, and it's not for me. I don't go to the comic book store looking for love stories really, and whether it's toned down or pulled back a little bit, I don't know. I've just lost interest in it faster than I thought I would. Great art, great writing. The story's just not kind of heading in an area that interests me, but it's still a great book. Phantom Road, speaking of things that I've forgotten about, Phantom Road issue 4 is out. I read issue 1, I read issue 2, and issue 2 was so forgettable that I hate that I'm saying this. This is the Lemire book. After issue 2, I forgot all about the series. So issue 3 is around here somewhere, because here's issue 4. Yes, I will finish reading it. It's Lemire. I'll probably see it through to the end because it's probably a mini series. It'll probably end like issue 8, issue 12. I don't know, but it's Lemire. I buy everything Lemire. I'm just surprised that I forgot about a Lemire book coming out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 140 hits the reading pile again. Seawater 19 and myself at some point will hook back up for some Turtles talk. And then Fear the Walking Dead issue 64, the deluxe. I will say it once, and I'll say it every time. I enjoy rereading this issue by issue every other week. And this is very little money to relive the experience of picking up the issues, and they're in full color. This is my biggest complaint when Walking Dead was coming out, is reading it black and white. Looking back and looking into the past, I can get why they went that route. I still want my zombie titles in color. Last book up. I was not anticipating this package arriving today. We received a package that that was a massive package, but I'm just gonna flash it. I absolutely am in love with how the Comic-Con podcast Dr. Aphra covers came out from James Archer. This is an artist sketchbook from Mad Love Comics and Art. And this is this is the metal, and their medals are full front and full back medals. And this book looks like pure gold in person. And I'm absolutely in love with Jeps's artwork here of Dr. Aphra, and I'm absolutely in love with how the metal turned out. This was phenomenal. Mad Love Comics and Art, you can search for him if you're interested. As a Dr. Aphra fan, I had to have a copy of this for the Dr. Aphra collection, right? Much like the Mad Love Comics did the Ahsoka medal, we're getting a copy of that graded and putting that on the Ahsoka wall. For the Aphra collection, we've got to have this. So it's not it does not, words escape me again, it does not have a full comic book story in here. It's just an artist sketchbook in here, which is fine. But once graded and encapsulated and protected from being scratched or anything like that, it goes with the Dr. Aphra collection, which is exactly why we collect some of those pieces, right? And the full QR code on the back will bring you to the Comic-Con podcast. Nemesis and Manimal did a phenomenal job with Mad Love Comics. This is absolutely stunning. Beautiful Dr. Aphra. Beautiful metal cover. It turned out great. Really, 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 really happy with that. And really, really thankful that they had a copy for me. So I appreciate that, guys. And that's the run of the books. Let's hit up the chat again really quick. And because I see a very important message here coming up as we get there. And yeah, hey, and saying hi to Swag. General announcements. How much was a X-Teen signature? So the Motor City Comic Con where we met Ashley Eckstein, that was, I think, 140 for her to sign anything. Anything you brought to the table, it was 140, which is pretty high. Well, I mean, when you're getting celebrities to sign, 140 is actually cheap in the world of celebrity signing stuff. But I remember Ashley being like 50, $60 just a couple of years ago, just before COVID and during COVID. You go to some of the fan expo stuff, I remember seeing like $60. So it was so affordable. Sarah and I kept putting it off and putting it off. We're like, we'll go do it another time. At some point, she's going to be at Motor City. She shows up at Motor City, but at this point, she had raised her rates. That's fine. We saved up a little bit more money. 140 for the signature, 60 for the selfie photos at the table, and then it was $40 for a quote. So that whole experience was, if you do the math, like 220, 225. Yeah, well, yeah, no, 240. Yes. 140, 60, and then the 40. So 240. So we did pony up a fair bit, and that's why we chose to only have one book signed, because then we were going right next door to Matt and getting the book signed by Matt as well. So now I really have a deeper understanding of why signature books are so much more expensive than non-signature blue labeled books, simply because of what it costs in line for a celebrity signature. Matt Lantern still was cheaper, but like that was still a chunk of change as well. I think after the signature and the quote and the pictures, that was still like 160, 180, something like that. So you're talking a $400 investment for two signatures basically on Clone Wars 1. That's a really good, that provided me that window or that opportunity to realize why signature books are so expensive and why they go for what they do, is the amount of effort and time it takes, and then the numerical value of getting those signatures, and then getting the book graded as well. But I cannot wait for that book to get graded. I'm getting a little nervous. CGC still has not sent an email that they've received the book. And we are a full month after Motor City, almost a full month after Motor City, and they still have not received the book. The book shipped out 3 weeks ago. They still have not received it. So are we back to CGC 101 or CGC of 2001 or 2001? Good gravy. Are we back to CGC 2021 or 2020, where books sit in boxes in the loading dock for 6 months or 3 months or 2 months? Because we've had batches of books graded in 4 to 6 days, and now I'm on week 3 of even receiving an email that they've received the package. So hence my apprehension, hence my bit of worry is like, obviously there's a shifting in the tides with how CGC is handling and receiving books now, because that thing should have been through the grading pipe and back if it was just getting graded. You know what I mean? It is getting pressed. But that doesn't preclude us from receiving an email that the book is received. So a pressing does add time on there, and it does extend that, but we should have at least received your package is received, your book is received email. Moving right along. Getting back to the chat here. Yes, see you at Heroes Con, man. I can't wait. And there is Dale of Suspense with the Swaggle House link. Make sure you guys are following Swaggle House. Fantastic content, much better content than what I do here. I just love going live and talking with you guys and staying in tune with the comic book community here and what's going on. I'm excited for G.I. Joe 301 in November. Ooh, interesting. Definitely looking forward to that as well. Afra. Yes, Afra. There's a lot of exciting things coming up this year in Star Wars and the year after. At some point, I'm biting my nails, wondering if there's going to be some sort of Afra cameo or drop at some point. Think about Andor. Where are all those antiques and antiquities coming from? Somebody's got to be collecting and hunting those things down. Who else other than Afra? I mean, this is just a Disney's like kicking off a field goal, and Afra's got to be down there to catch it, because who else is the best name in Star Wars right now when it comes to antiquities and hunting? And I mean, come on, like that's like, just come on, Disney. That's like, you guys know where my head's at, the excitement that's there. There's Legion of Comics. There's the Trev the Shipping Guru. I'm collecting the 40th, and yeah, never again. Just, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Just too much. It takes up too much space to collect all of those. There's JLS's link, another great channel out there. And at least I can't just not say another great channel. They're all great channels. They're all great content. Dale Suspense as well. Beckerman, good to see you. Market Stang. Get ready for toy covers for G.I. Joe and Transformers. Yes. Yes, you know what I wish they would do? I wish they would do variant covers of the original boxes for the vehicles. You know what I mean? Like the ship and the helicopter, like that original box front from the 80s. Give me a comic book variant cover of that original helicopter box lid, that front. Give me that. That would be freaking sweet. There's Izzy's YouTube channel link. There you go. Facts. Jimmy brother, how can I tell if my cat is male or female? This is a setup. I don't know. Trev's like, whoa. Like, yeah, I don't know. How can you tell if your cat's male or female? Don't you just kind of look? You just kind of look in the back shipping area. What? Japes Archer. Yes, Japes Archer. Phenomenal. And the metals look like pure bars of gold. In love with that for sure. Yeah, Trev, there should still be copies available at Mad Love. Their website, just Google search Mad Love Comics and Art. You can find them there. I think there's Ahsoka covers left too if they haven't sold out yet. Or hit up Nemesis Prime or Milton the Manimal and see if they have any left available. And I know it's a very, very low printed. This isn't a massively printed book. There's not thousands of copies of this book. There's very, very few actually. And I know JD and I know Nemesis Prime and I know Manimal can give you those numbers. I can't remember off the top of my head. They might even be printed on the website for Mad Love Comics, but there's not a ton of them. Binged both seasons of Sweet Tooth over the long week. It was so much fun. I can't wait to get into the second season of Sweet Tooth. We loved the first season, and that sleeper just rolled right in. The second season's here, and I didn't even know. Finally found Dr. Aphra's first Black Series figure last weekend. Interesting. That's I should be paying more attention to those. I'm still hunting a Black Series chopper. I had a little chopper. You guys may have seen pictures of it on IG at one point as we share books. And that chopper, one glorious day, my son came down. Daddy, can I have him tonight? Can I tuck him in? Can he come to bed for story time? I'm like, yeah, buddy, that's great. 2 weeks later, the arms are broken off, the legs are broken off, the figure's dunsies, done for. I'm a little crushed. I'm not the biggest action figure collector, but I am a massive chopper fan. And every time I go to a con to get that figure replaced and I look, it's like $150 Black Series figure now. Good God, I can't find one affordable. Either way, help bring awareness and support Mission 22 and the Till Valhalla Project by taking a moment and checking them out and sharing their message. There you go. Those links are down below in every single show, every single live show that we do on YouTube. This paragraph, this phrase, this right here lives in every piece of content that I do on YouTube and on other avenues, because we do work to bring awareness to Mission 22 and the Till Valhalla Project. Mission 22, for those of you that don't know, is a veterans health awareness group for veterans' mental health and awareness for their families, to provide them the tools they need to find the resources that they can utilize that will better themselves and better their situations, or in a time of crisis, there are lifelines there for help. And yeah, we will forever continue to work to bring awareness to Mission 22 and the Till Valhalla Project. Yes, thanks, Dale. She is coming to Florida SuperCon. There you go. And yes, she cashing in on Ahsoka. Not only that, but I don't think she's necessarily quote unquote cashing in. I think it's a way to help temper. We all have a certain level or a certain ability to remain social in any situation, right? Could you imagine if she was only charging $40 a signature right now, being the Ahsoka, being everybody's Ahsoka? You imagine how much longer her lines are? She would never be able to clear lines. She would never be able to leave a convention. At some point, I think the price of a signature of certain celebrities, the pricing or the utilization of those numbers is done in a way to help maintain a healthy relationship within that environment or within a convention. Because if God, Doc Brown, names escape me, but if a major celebrity walks in there and only charges $20, do you think they're ever going to be able to leave that convention? No, the line's going to be wrapped around the building 10 times. They're going to have to cut off. They're going to have to sell some sort of ticket. So if they're not selling tickets to a signing event, and I think it's open table format like that, I think the pricing, I believe in my heart of hearts, there's professional companies out there that do this pricing in a way that gauges a person's interest or likability within modern society and says, yeah, you should probably price yourself around here. This might be your turnout. I'm sure the convention might help out a little bit of that. I don't know. I mean, would I like to pay less? Always, everybody wants to save a buck. But I will say this: Ashley is literally the sweetest person, the best person I've ever run into, like that has a status of celebrity. She made time for everybody, regardless of what was being signed and what was going on. There's only two celebrity events that we've experienced. One was Rosario Dawson at C2E2, and one was Ashley. Rosario Dawson was obviously there's a pacing with somebody that's on that level of celebritydom, or whatever you want to call it, being a celebrity. There's a pacing, there's a micro fraction of time that is allotted or allowed per person to clear a line like that. But Ashley did not, it wasn't about time. It was about the experience. It was about the journey. Ashley and Matt and those Clone Wars, original Clone Wars voice acting crew, made it about the journey. They were phenomenal. I will definitely be doing signing events with them again. Moving right along, I could do a whole show just about that. Kenneth Bird, what is good, man? Thanks for being here. Congratulations again on your win recently, not too long ago, for that massive box. Hopefully that made it to you fine. I hadn't heard back from you in a while. Like I said, we've been really busy. Announcements are coming up. Plus cost of con too. Yeah, Motor City Comic Con is much more affordable than C2E2 and some other conventions. So that does work out and that does help. Plus the time value factor. Yep. Everybody's saying hi. Nick is rolling in here. Good to see you as well. We'll go over the books one more time here in just a moment. Happy early Father's Day. Yes, we are going to Heroes Con as a Father's Day gift/present. Don't blame her one bit. There you go. She's got to eat, and she is married to a World Series MVP baseball player. Yeah, I don't think she's doing bad for herself at all. She's got the clothing line. The God, why is the name escaping me? I've purchased tons of that stuff for Sarah as gifts. That clothing line is phenomenal, high quality, great Star Wars stuff for the Star Wars fan, and they're branching further out, making a men's line of shirts and things of that nature. And they do great work. They do a great job at what they put out. And yeah, she's like somebody you can really look up to when it comes to starting running, owning a business, and everything else is going on there. But yeah, congrats, Kenneth. Yeah, the box came in excellent condition. Thank you so much for sending the slab. You are very welcome for sure. Phil Chung, what is up? I'll be at Heroes Con. Hope I don't charge for cigs or selfies at cons. I don't. Oh, wait. No. God, no. We don't. No, there's no celebrity. There's no here. I'm one of you guys. I put my pants on the same way, both legs in one hole. Then I go, wait a second, what? And then try to rip everything off and fall over, smack my head on the table. And then I'm like, God, I need my coffee. And then the next thing I know, my pants are on backwards. I'm like everybody else. I'm all up in the head. You know what I mean? Holy moly. Let's go over the books one more time again, really quick. I had fun with the opener, kind of discussing Void Rivals and how I originally felt about it over the last couple of days, and rolling into this, picking it up and reading it. It took 3 minutes to read. It's really fast. It's really short, but there's one page and there's like two panels that are going to step right out and kind of transform your opinion of the book. I love puns and puns love me, and I don't care if you don't like it. Either way, Void Rivals, just pick it up. I mean, 6 issues. If you're really pinching the coin, read it later digitally or borrow it from a friend. Find a way to read it. But if you're not pinching on the coin, what kind of phrase is that? If you're not too worried about the couple of extra bucks a month, just add it to your pull list and grab the first couple of issues and see where it goes. Join that journey right there. And then going backwards and doing it all over again really quick. 2 weeks worth of books. The Walking Dead Deluxe 64. Like I said, I'm loving reliving this issue to issue every other week in full color. TMNT 140, hitting the reading block. Phantom Road. Oh my God, I forgot that this was going on. And I feel bad. It's a Lemire book. I love Lemire books. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. I'm all done with this. I'm cutting it off. I'm going to try to remember to send the email tonight. Not because it's bad. It's not a bad book. It's good art. It's good writing. It's just, I've lost interest. I'm not going to be interested in everything just like everybody else. There's a window of what you're interested in, right? Star Wars 35, 1 in 25, Noto variant, right? Yes, the Noto variant right there. Glad we got that for $24. And then, see what happens 6 months from now if it actually holds value. I mean, we all know what happens with Star Wars books with first appearances. I'm surprised at the level of interest that they've been getting lately, actually, considering it's like they do a first appearance every other month. Either way. And then the anniversary covers, I'm done. Once I complete this run of anniversary covers, if they're high enough quality to grade, I might grade and set them aside, but I probably won't because 40 copies. Boss Nos. There you go. In issue 35, the variant cover right there, B variant. Cover price. Oh, that's the Pride variant, actually. Kind of hard to see down at the bottom, but it's the Pride variant. Cover A, I absolutely love. Then 35 of Darth Vader, the Pride variant. I wish that they're going awfully small with the variant status down there, and I'm grabbing them at the bottom. I kind of missed that. And again, anniversary variant. Like, I get it. I like the covers. Just 40 years, and then we're gonna have 40 additional copies. No. Once we're done with that, we're done. Then Vader. This is the cover price variant that I'm really digging this week. This Vader cover. And then cover A35, you got Dr. Aphra, you got Darth Vader and Spock table in a back alley barn. Gotta love it. I hope we see more dark, seedy back alley Star Wars type craziness, much like we did in Andor, and hopefully that'll keep going in the future. Santa Star Wars issue 5. I'm call it a guilty pleasure. I just think it's a fun Star Wars read that's not super overly complicated and was a great place to start, especially with that character. Empire 1, and then Yoda 8 was out last week, if I remember correctly. This, for some screaming reason, I thought was Adam Hughes at first from a glance, but this, I believe, is a Noto as well. And then, like we said, Void Rivals, and then that Comic-Con podcast, Jeps Archer. This is the artist sketchbook, and just a phenomenal, absolutely all gold metal. Very cool. Happy to have that. And I love the zoom in Afro look, the zoom in Afro glance right there. Just a killer cover. Absolutely phenomenal. You guys did a great job on this. Nemesis Prime and Milton the Manimal and Mad Love Comics and Art for sure. If you guys are an Afro fan like I am and you're buying Afro covers, then you'll want to check out Mad Love Comics and Art. Just search for them on Google, and they should still have copies available. Not highly printed. Who knows how long they'll be around. I know that Mad Love still usually has some sitting available online after a release. They don't typically sell out immediately, but if they keep putting out freaking covers like this and keep drawing more attention, I don't know. This is too good to not have in an Afro collection. So there you go. There's New Comic Book Day. I hope everybody had a great week and is having a great week. We're going to hit up the chat again one more time, saying hi to everybody. Everybody say happy birthday to Philip Chung. Philip Chung, happy birthday. There you go. Or don't. We did. Everybody else should do the same thing, though. I see what you did there. Yeah. Void Rivals really has me excited. Haven't been this excited for a new series and the future in a long time. Not only is it just a new series, but it's a whole new universe, right? Multiple series within a shared universe that have Transformers and G.I. Joe in the same universe. I hope we get to see like cameos between issues, but I hope we don't get stuck with a bunch of crossover stuff. Drop the crossover stuff, find a different way of doing it, and just throw a cameo of, in one story, so-and-so's not there because they're out doing something. So then you open up G.I. Joe and, oh, hey, he happens to be over here. Kind of, oh, yeah, good to see you, man. You just make it fun, make it original, make it natural. Again, happy birthday to Phil. Good to see you again. Happy birthday, Phil. Thanks, everybody. Hey, C-Word 19. Speaking of TMNT and the Turtles, there you go. Make sure you check out C-Word 19's YouTube channel for some great Turtles content. And one of these days, we'll get back to Turtle Tuesdays. That would be awesome. Congrats on the Noto pickup. Yeah, thanks, Ryan, man. I was surprised that it was still in the box. They do a great job honoring the pull list, but if you go a week or two, you always kind of have that second guess in your head. It's like, oh man, is it still going to be there? It was for sure there. There's the link for Seawater 19. He's saying, great week so far. Yeah, what I thought was going to be a light week for New Comic Book Day tended to be a little bit heavier today because we missed last week. That being said, it's time to call it a night. It's time to finish getting packed for Heroes Con. We've got to catch our flight, and we are looking forward to seeing everybody. And if you are going to Heroes Con, comment down below. Hit me up on Instagram. There's going to be a big, massive group of us hanging out, and we're looking forward to spending time with each other and seeing everybody. So again, everybody, you guys know how we do this, right? I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go pinkies out. I'm going to catch you all on the flip side for the next one. And remember, the most important part all day, every day, stay original, because you're all we got. Take care of each other. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday for Comic News Weekly. next Wednesday for New Comic Book Day. And at some point, we'll have another CGC unboxing coming up soon. But I'm wondering if the tide's done turned with CGC and we no longer have quick turnaround times, because I should have gotten an email by now. Getting a little worried. See y'all at Heroes Con. Have a good night.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Excuse me while I change. The roller buggy has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty.